By the age of 15, Johnny Depp had already experienced more change than most endure in a lifetime. Moving from home to home, adjusting to new neighborhoods, schools, and social circles, he learned early that life was unpredictable. This instability planted both resilience and a deep sense of self-reliance, shaping a young mind that was observant, adaptive, and quietly determined. He often recalls the disorientation of those years, the feeling of never fully belonging anywhere, and how it instilled in him a profound awareness of impermanence. Yet, amid the turbulence, a spark burned within him, a desire to create, to explore, and to carve out a space where he could define himself on his own terms. It was this spark that would later fuel a career defined by reinvention and artistry, a life that turned uncertainty into creative power. A father's perspective and priorities, Depp's path to adulthood was guided by instinct and observation. He quickly recognized that some of life's lessons are learned not through instruction, but through presence and attentiveness. He understood, even as a teenager, that responsibility and devotion to those he loved would become central to who he was. That early awareness of fragility shaped not only his personal choices, but also his work ethic, his creative pursuits, and his approach to relationships. He carried forward a sense of purpose that was quietly determined, even as he moved through a world that offered little stability. The darkest moments, a child's perspective. One of the most defining chapters in Depp's life came when his daughter, Lily Rose, faced a sudden and frightening health crisis. While he was filming overseas, a minor accident turned serious, requiring urgent medical attention. He and Vanessa Paradis stayed by her side in the hospital for 9 days, living simply, eating cafeteria food, and sleeping in chairs beside her bed. Every sound from the monitors became a heartbeat of hope and anxiety, each conversation with doctors carrying profound weight. Depp recalls that period as one of the most emotionally intense moments he had ever experienced, a time that reshaped his understanding of presence and priorities. When Lily Rose finally smiled, relief and joy eclipsed anything he had achieved in his career. That experience reinforced the idea that true success is not measured by accolades or recognition, but by the depth of care, attention, and love given in the moments that matter most. Challenges and lessons in trust. Alongside personal trials, Depp encountered challenges in managing the practicalities of life. Over the years, he experienced setbacks related to finances and professional decisions that required a shift in perspective and careful rebuilding. These moments, while difficult, were also lessons in vigilance, discernment, and self-reliance. They reminded him that trust must be measured, that support networks matter, and that even unexpected obstacles can become opportunities to reassess, reorganize, and grow. While these events demanded patience and resilience, they also offered a chance to strengthen his sense of agency and independence. Creativity as refuge. Throughout his life, Depp has turned repeatedly to creativity as both a sanctuary and a lifeline. Music, film, and writing became spaces where he could express himself freely, without external expectation. On stage with the Hollywood vampires, in European film festivals, and through independent projects, he discovered the joy of creating work that was personally meaningful, rather than dictated by market pressures. These endeavors allowed him to reconnect with the core of his identity, the artist who thrives in exploration, expression, and the pursuit of beauty, rather than conformity or public validation. Creative work became a lens through which he could process experiences, transform challenges into art, and connect authentically with others. Navigating fame and public life. Depp's rise to stardom was meteoric, bringing opportunities and admiration alongside unique pressures. He learned early that public perception often simplifies complex realities. Fame can offer both validation and constraint, and he discovered the importance of defining his own boundaries amidst external demands.
public scrutiny sometimes required patience and resilience, teaching him to prioritize what mattered most: his family, his creative work, and his personal integrity. He understood that reputation, while significant, could not substitute for inner clarity or emotional stability, and that the work of maintaining both self and craft required conscious attention. Family and grounding. Central to Depp's life and growth has been his family. The presence of Lily Rose and Jack has provided grounding, perspective, and a profound sense of purpose. Parenting demanded patience, attentiveness, and selflessness, guiding him through moments of doubt and offering motivation to build stability and joy. The lessons learned from
fatherhood, balancing care with creativity, presence with ambition, have become cornerstones of his identity. Family, for Depp, is both an anchor and a compass, reminding him of what is worth protecting and investing in, even amidst the pressures of a demanding career. Love, relationships, and personal growth. Depp's personal relationships have been shaped by both joy and challenge, and they have provided lessons in compassion, patience, and communication. His partnership with Vanessa Paradis offered not only companionship, but insight into the rhythms of family life, the beauty of shared creativity, and the quiet work of supporting one another. Later relationships highlighted the complexity of human connection, the importance of self-awareness, and the value of integrity in love. Across all experiences, he has reflected deeply on the necessity of balancing personal fulfillment with care for others, learning that meaningful relationships are sustained by respect, honesty, and mutual understanding. Addiction, healing, and self-discovery. Like many artists, Depp faced periods of struggle with substances, which he has described as coping mechanisms that required attention and healing. Over time, he has engaged in reflection, therapy, and lifestyle adjustments, transforming patterns of dependence into practices of self-care and mindfulness. This journey towards stability and health has not been linear, but it has allowed him to regain energy, focus, and presence for both family and career. Healing, in Depp's experience, has been about understanding one's vulnerabilities, nurturing resilience, and creating structures that support sustainable growth. Creativity, as lifelong anchor music and film, remain anchors, places where Depp can translate life experiences into art. Collaborating with the Hollywood vampires, performing in festivals, and participating in smaller-scale projects allow him to maintain creative control while sharing authentic work. These endeavors provide not only artistic satisfaction, but emotional release and a sense of contribution, connecting him to audiences in ways that transcend the superficial measures of fame. His creativity is both a mirror of experience and a tool for shaping the future, reflecting the depth of his journey while fostering connection and meaning. Reflection on success. Depp's understanding of success has evolved profoundly. Wealth, accolades, and recognition are now seen as secondary to the intangible measures of fulfillment: presence, integrity, family bonds, and creative expression. Life's richness, he has learned, comes from the quality of engagement with what matters most, rather than the volume of achievements displayed publicly. This perspective allows him to navigate the pressures of fame with intentionality, aligning choices with core values rather than external expectation. Lessons in trust and relationships. Through experiences of betrayal, disappointment, and reconciliation, Depp has refined his understanding of trust and relationships. He has learned that healthy bonds require clarity, mutual respect, and attentiveness, and that love and friendship flourish in spaces of honesty and care. These lessons inform both his personal interactions and professional collaborations, guiding him toward environments that support authenticity and sustainable engagement. Growth through reflection. Reflection has been a cornerstone of Depp's resilience. By reviewing experiences of challenge and triumph, he has cultivated insight, patience, and perspective. Understanding the interplay of personal choices, external pressures, and unforeseeable events allows him to navigate life with intentionality, to protect what matters most, and to create conditions for sustainable fulfillment. Reflection transforms experience into wisdom, shaping both his present actions and long-term vision, balancing creativity and stability. In recent years, Depp has focused on balancing artistic exploration with personal stability. Independent films, festival appearances, and musical projects allow creative freedom without the overwhelming demands of blockbuster production cycles. This balance enables him to maintain emotional equilibrium while continuing to contribute to his craft, ensuring that creativity remains a source of life rather than stress. Resilience as a lifestyle. Depp's story exemplifies resilience not as a singular act, but as a sustained lifestyle. Daily choices, mindful attention, and conscious prioritization have become the framework through which he navigates challenges. By cultivating self-awareness, accountability, and reflective practice, he has built a foundation that allows recovery, growth, and joy to coexist even after significant trials. Embracing change and new beginnings. Through decades of personal and professional evolution, Depp has embraced change as a necessary part of growth. New opportunities, shifting priorities, and the ebb and flow of relationships have taught him flexibility and openness. Change is no longer a threat, but a canvas for renewal, allowing him to continually redefine himself, his work, and his relationships in ways that honor both past experience and future potential. Centering on purpose. Ultimately, Depp has oriented his life around purpose rather than performance. Family, creativity, and meaningful collaboration take precedence over public image or financial accumulation. This intentional focus transforms challenges into lessons and setbacks into opportunities for growth, demonstrating that a life directed by purpose can sustain both creativity and personal fulfillment even amidst adversity. Reclaiming agency and narrative. Depp's journey is also one of reclaiming agency, taking control of his narrative, making choices aligned with personal values, and shaping his legacy deliberately. By prioritizing autonomy and thoughtful decision-making, he has re-established boundaries, rebuilt trust in himself, and demonstrated that personal and professional identity can be realigned after periods of disruption. Redefining success. Success, for Depp, has evolved from the accumulation of accolades and financial gain to the cultivation of stability, authenticity, and meaningful connections. His story highlights that true accomplishment is measured in resilience, depth of relationships, and sustained creative contribution rather than public approval alone. This redefinition allows him to navigate the present with clarity and to approach the future with purpose. The power of creativity and expression. Depp's ongoing engagement with music and film emphasizes the importance of creative expression in maintaining emotional well-being. Through performance, composition, and storytelling, he channels experience into artistry, connecting with audiences while preserving personal integrity. Creativity serves as both a mirror and a bridge, reflecting life's complexity while fostering connection, meaning, and joy. Reflection on personal growth. Looking back, Depp recognizes that growth arises from the interplay of challenge, reflection, and intentional action. Experiences of loss, difficulty, and adaptation have cultivated patience, compassion, and resilience. Rather than seeking perfection or external validation, he has learned to value presence, mindful engagement, and emotional honesty, demonstrating that personal evolution is a continual, deliberate process. Legacy through presence. Above all, Depp's legacy is shaped not only by his artistic achievements, but by the depth of his presence. Parenting, mentorship, creative collaboration, and thoughtful engagement with life's challenges have allowed him to build a story rooted in care, integrity, and connection. His example illustrates that enduring impact arises not from fleeting fame, but from consistent, intentional living. Gratitude and perspective. Depp's reflections reveal gratitude for the opportunities, lessons, and relationships that have shaped him. Even amidst setbacks, he recognizes the value of experience in cultivating wisdom, empathy, and resilience. By approaching life with perspective, he demonstrates that gratitude and awareness of growth can coexist with ambition and creativity, enriching both personal fulfillment and professional expression. Reclaiming joy. Today, Depp embraces joy in a grounded, deliberate way. Simple moments with family, music sessions, independent projects, and quiet reflection provide sources of contentment that are deeper and more lasting than public accolades. This approach underscores that happiness is often cultivated through attention, care, and presence, rather than through external validation alone. The continuing journey. Depp's journey is ongoing, defined not by past setbacks, but by the conscious choices he makes each day. Through reflection, creativity, and connection, he continues to build a life aligned with his values, illustrating that personal and professional fulfillment are attainable through resilience, intentionality, and care. Each chapter of his life contributes to a larger narrative of growth, artistry, and human depth. Conclusion. Johnny Depp's life is a story of transformation, resilience, and enduring creativity. From the instability of childhood to the responsibilities of parenthood, from public acclaim to private reflection, he has navigated life with determination and authenticity. His journey reminds us that true success is measured not by wealth or fame, but by presence, connection, and the ability to rebuild oneself thoughtfully after setbacks. Through music, film, and dedication to family, Depp continues to define a life of meaning, demonstrating that growth, joy, and purpose can flourish even in the wake of profound challenges. His story is a testament to the enduring power of creativity, resilience, and the human spirit.